Hello? Hello, gamers? Where is my camera at? Where is my camera at? Oh, don't tell me it's bugging out. Again? Yeah. Rip, my camera is gone. Again? Video capture. Wow, okay. My camera's not showing up once again, but we'll get straight into it. Looking at 1.05. 1.05, and this is for YouTube as well. Alright, so let's get into it. So this is a huge patch, eh guys? And unfortunately my camera's not working, so I'm just going to be taking a look here. And yeah, the highlights: fixed 620 bugs. Love it. I always want, fix bugs, because there's a lot of bugs in the game so far, and I'm pretty unhappy with that. I've been playing multiplayer games, and it's been pretty annoying. So that's very nice. Fixed the issues with Imperial demand unlawful territory action and the HRE Emperor getting tons of random locations across the HRE. Yep. That's Austria for you. I've been seeing them get little territories everywhere. I don't know how they're doing it. Like, it's just random. It's so random. And it must be because of all the AI expanding and all that, and just fucking it up. Severely turned down the AI demands of a new mutual defense law in the defensive leagues and other IOs. Wow. I don't know what that means. A new mutual defense law in defensive leagues. Situation: several improvements for the rise of the Turks, 100 Years' War, Red Turban rebellions, and Italian wars. I wonder what those improvements are. Several fixes for the Middle Kingdom IO and Chinese treasure fleet feature. Haven't been playing in China yet, but that's nice to see some fixes for that. Rebalance the starting food balance in the Andean region, making Cusco and its neighbors more playable at game start. Added alerts for lack of commanders, green and peace, yellow and war, devastated locations, available policies. Yeah, that was a bit confusing with the color coding for the UI. The UI needs tons of work. It's just not good for new players at the moment. If I wasn't a Paradox veteran, like of 6 years or so, then it would be hard to pass through the UI, but so far it's been pretty good. In terms of gameplay, but the UI, not that great. So first up, we got some gameplay. So low righteousness. I don't know what that is because I've not played in Japan or China yet. I think it's China. Confucianism, yeah, China. Apparently it was a death trap. The Chinese bloodbath. Control will not drop again. Oh, okay. So there was something going on with the control there. Wait, what's that mean? Control will not... Is that for a general gameplay? Huh. Must be a bug then. The cost to abdicate is now reduced by age. Makes sense. Some things impacting the food consumption for peasants now also impact the laborers. Very nice. Very nice indeed. The laborers, man, yeah. They need to be in the fold, man. Pops now demand 10% more goods if they're produced in the local market. So does that mean, like, demand's gone up across the board? Must be, eh? Pops now demand 10% more goods if they're produced in the local market. Okay, so we're going to get some more demand. That's always nice. I feel like we're getting too much surplus in the market so far. It's a bit annoying. Going bankrupt now reduces the inflation by 25% of the current value, just like in EU4. Yes. Yes. But I want bankrupts to be punishing, because I just don't like the EU4 meta of like loans and bankrupting yourself to just get out of loans. Like, it's just annoying, and I don't like loan metas in EU4. So I don't want to see it in EU5. So hopefully this doesn't go too far in this direction of nerfing bankrupts. Repeated bankruptcies will now not take control. I think they should. That's a weird change. I think if your country is bankrupt and you have no money going to the coffers and you're not, paying out your government, I think that should impact the control a lot, especially repeated bankruptcies. So I think that's a bit too easy on the player. And now this is a huge one. Trade maintenance is now 10 times as big as before. Whoa, man. Whoa. Holy crap. Trade just got absolutely mogged. I heard Joanne reverse this, but now, trade. I mean, trade was already too overpowered, man. I've been seeing other people getting like so much money out of it. I'm just like, that's just too strong. So like, this was probably a good step in that direction to, tone it down a bit because it's getting insane, but probably too far. And, all the noobs are like complaining about this. I'm like, dude, trade's too easy. Trade's too easy. So I'm actually happy that it's a bit more expensive because you actually have to do other things instead of just trade. Fix the bug where new countries don't get a proper economy. Oh, what the heck? There's a new... Glad you fixed that. I don't know which countries was that. Portuguese fiat buildings can be built again. Thank God. Fix the bug where the estates could never invest money into loan capacity for your country if the expenses were above the threshold. Again, I'm not a loan maxer, so I don't care about loans, but it's good they fixed that. I just don't think loans are worth it because it just brings you down to low stability, I'm pretty sure. It just debuffs you. It's not like EU4 loans where I can just pull it out my ass like 100 times over and then I just don't, like I just get, I don't have to worry about it. But in this, the loans actually do give you some debuffs, or the interest, being in debt does hurt. Pops will not demand some food goods if they're not locally produced. Thank God. Thank God. Oh, that's so great, man. You know why that's so great? Because I had a rice, like I had some like RGOs that were in my territory that were somehow being demanded by the pops. I'm like, why are you demanding this? And the reason why is because it got introduced into my market and then I lost the trade and now it's like present in my market, but the pops still want it. So it's like, it's bugged out. I think it was intended, but it just made the pops annoying. Like, why are you demanding goods that can't be produced or brought in by trade? So that was really annoying to deal with. And I'm happy they fixed that. We got some diplomacy fixes. So fix wrong countries gain trust from ceding unoccupied areas in peace treaties. Nice, but barred subjects from asking to lift excommunication to avoid spam. Good. The grant independence peace treaty now grants independence to all subjects. Nice. Whoever joined the independence war against their overlord. Very good. Character marriages will now only update marriage unions instead of all unions, which could lead to weird union behaviors. I haven't interacted with personal unions because they're just not worth it. Like the amount of effort and investment you have to put into that union is just annoying. I'd rather just take them over with the warfare. It's nice to have, but who cares about personal unions at this point in the game? Honestly, it takes too long. International organizations will now properly check the can bestow trigger when they automatically bestow a special status. Again, haven't been interacting with international organizations too much. Only the HRE. Power projection now impacts the greater power score. Good. Military order vassals can also declare war on heretic religions that have a negative or enemy view in addition to heathens. Wait, they couldn't do that before? Wow, okay. That's really strange they weren't able to do that before. Wow. Yeah, they should be able to do that. Heretic religions instead of just heathens. I assume heathens is like the more worse version of heretics, which is like Protestants. So that's very interesting. The dynastic power in international organizations such as the HRE is now properly calculated after loading a save file instead of having to wait for a monthly tick to have this data cached in. What the heck, man? I was not encountering this issue. Some of these things I've like barely encountered because I've been playing in different countries. So the total population of international organizations is now properly calculated. I already read that. Is it the same? Oh no, it's a different. The total population. again, international organization, such a cuck, like such a cuck, thing to be in. I'm not interested in being in the HRE. I want to get out of it. Like I was playing my lamb, and I wanted to like get the HRE out of Italy because it's just annoying to expand in, because Austria just gets involved in everything, and that's why I don't join international organizations like that. Subjects now count for the border requirement of selling and buying cities. Yeah, I haven't been selling and buying cities. It might be a worthwhile strategy, eh? Subjects now count for a border requirement of selling. That could be an exploit, eh? Probably. Added more reasons to accept threatened war diplomatic action. Yeah, like, I haven't seen this threatened war diplomatic action in ages. Like, I haven't been able to get it at all. So I'm happy that they're adding more things you can do to like change the lever in that direction. Fix positive reasons to accept alliances when the actor has high antagonism. Oh, fix positive reasons to accept alliances when the actor has high antagonism. Added similar reasons. Okay, very good. So if a country has high antagonism, they should be able to accept alliances more. Okay. I think that's what it means. Historical tags will not be purged immediately anymore. Not be purged immediately anymore. Wait, what? They were getting purged? So they could get purged, but how would that work? What's it mean by being purged? Does that mean like your historical cause, they get I don't know. It must be. Historical cause or your historical countries that you can form, like UK or something. You must be able to destroy it or something. Subjects can now offer military sponsorship if they do not have a limited diplomacy. Ooh. You know what I want to see is subjects. I can tell my subjects to give military access to another country, because I was playing a multiplayer game and I was trying to make a deal with the Ottomans, like another player, and they couldn't cross through my subjects for some reason because my subjects wouldn't allow it. Because the subject meta right now, we just like make tons of little vassals, and just like blocked his army, which is a good thing and bad thing, because it sort of cucked him, but like it was annoying because I wanted to like maintain good relations, but there was no option to give military access to them through the subjects. So I'm happy to see that we can do more with the subjects, but I want to see a bit more in that area. The Livonian Order can receive military sponsorship. Nice. I believe how that works is another player was telling me that these orders, these knightly orders, they actually get paid by other people to fight. And that's kind of cool. But when I load up Teutonic Order, like you're in this massive war, and I don't know if you can survive, man. Like you'd probably be able to, but that war with Poland to start, man, that is annoying. Round up slightly from 0.3 to 0.33. The diplomatic ability increased during education given by ambitious child trait to put in line with the other similar modifiers. Okay. Nothing controversial there. Yeah, the ambitious child trait. The modifier block from creating subjects now properly blocks you from forming any new subject countries of any kind. I really hated that, eh? I really hated them. I was getting blocked from doing stuff, and they just like fixed something that was helping. Oh, God. Okay. Because you can get cucked by this so hard, eh? Wow. Because like I haven't been like cucked like that yet, but I've seen other AI countries get this, and yeah, that's nasty if you get that. The form personal union, because you want to create vassals, right? The form personal union peace treaty from the claimed throne is now always visible. Oh, so you can form a personal union from the claimed throne, Casus Belli? But again, why would you want to form a personal union? It just doesn't seem worth it. It's never worth it, man. Like, just take over the country and just implode them with a couple of vassals. Like, that's the best thing, I think. It just takes way too long for a PU to be worth the investment. Before this, the peace treaty was only invisible when you occupied the enemy capital, which led to many to believe the peace treaty did not exist. Well, I don't care about personal unions, so Some people might because they want to role play a bit, but you know, it's a strategy game. I like playing, you know, winning strategies, and unfortunately, I don't think PUs are that powerful. In my opinion, the claim throne peace tree is now no longer blocked by religious groups. This is particularly relevant for Lithuania's Casus Belli on. Oh, so differing religions, you won't be able to do claim throne CBs. Is that what it's saying? He sentenced me. I don't know. This is particularly relevant for So that fixes the claim throne thing, which is pretty good. Like, that makes sense. If you have a different religion, like, you should be able to still claim your throne. Colonial nations are now blocked from making their own subjects. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, they could do that. Wow. Yeah, that would have been super cocked. Wow. Because that would have messed up your stuff, man. Oh, yeah. Thank God they put that in. Holy crap. Because that would have stuffed up your economy so badly. The Emperor can no longer force a white peace in a civil war in the whole Empire. Yeah. Wait, there can be a civil war in the Holy Roman Empire? Huh. I did not know that. Because the Holy Roman Empire, it's just an organization, like an international organization. Makes sense though, like, why would you want to do white peace in that situation? We get to the military part. Here we go. Got some juicy bits. In a new game, countries already in war will have their navy levies already raised. Oh. Okay, so that sort of buffs them in the beginning. Like, they don't have to wait to raise their levies. Characters have less impact on the correct section chance and reinforcing a battle. So I assume when they say characters, I think they mean commanders. Yeah, I don't know how much that impacted the battle, but it'll be interesting to see that in the combat. I can't wait to try the combat in this new patch. Only the first unit in a battle always ends up on the correct flank. Huh. What's that mean though? Only the first unit in a battle always ends up on the correct. So there's correct flanks? Oh, so yeah, so if you were putting a unit on a particular flank, like you planned it, and they probably didn't come to their assigned flank. Oh, I get it. Okay. Well, thank God they fixed that, because geez, that could fuck you up massively. Because if you don't have a unit on the right flank where you want them to be, like, you could just get annihilated, especially in multiplayer. Drilling now reduces the morale of the army. Yeah, I think it should do that. That's how it worked in EU4, and I think that's how it should work in EU5. Because, like, you know, you're drilling soldiers, and, you know, I don't think soldiers like drilling. It's too boring, man. You have to stay a bit longer in the battle before being able to manually treat. Yeah, I think it was a bit too short. Like, it's a bit too easy to get out of a battle like that. I wonder if it's, like, good, though, to do that. To, like, to retreat before you get all routed. Probably a good idea. To save casualties, I assume. Ruler being a general moves towards belligerent and land. Bonus prestige if at war. That's kind of cool. Yeah, so if your ruler is in command, like, he's going to be, you know, boosting, like, your values and stuff. That's a really good change. I actually like that. I wonder how big the bonus is. Ruler being an admiral, yeah, same thing, just being an admiral instead. That's pretty cool. So it's like influencing the military culture, I would assume. Same thing with your air as well. Now it says a small amount, so it's probably less than the ruler. So this incentivizes me to put my ruler in command, but I haven't seen, like, commanders or generals or admirals die yet. Like, I haven't seen them die in battle, and that's, like, weird, because, you know, kings and, you know, generals, they died in battle pretty regularly. Let's take an example of the Swedish king. What's his name? Swedish king, Great Northern War. He was shot in the head. Okay, This guy was shot in the head in a siege. There he is. This guy, right? He was a great commander. He was winning against the Russians. He was winning against all these coalitions. He had it in the bag. And he went to a trip to the Ottoman Empire, but he came back. But then he was in a siege against the Russians, in this random siege. And he was peering over the trench line, and he got shot in the head by some random musket ball. And one of the soldiers next to him is reportedly said, "Hey, sire, don't get too close to the ramparts," and dead. So really, they should die more often, I think. It's too safe. Added the damage reduction information on unit categories. Yeah, that's really important. I just feel like the military stuff could be a bit more visible. Yeah, McCloven, he got his head blown off. Like, it was that brutal. It was sad because he was actually doing pretty well for himself in the Great Northern War. And I think that sort of just ended it all. That's how tenuous, these monarchies are. Like, people say, oh, the states got more centralized and that, but really, like, when he died, it all just fell apart. So, because he was a great commander. And, like, let's have a look at Swedish king. And there's like a artwork of him in a cradle or something. Great Northern War. And, like, his soldiers are, like, carrying him because he got wounded in a previous battle. But he was like, the gamble of the Battle of Narva. And you can see here that he's being carried by his men. But yeah, Sweden was no joke. Absolute powerhouse in this period. And I should probably play them in my next playthrough because I want to emulate this great king. But man, it's hard breaking off, because I think you're a vassal at the start or something. But man, he looks like me, bro. I think I'm going to get his hair soon. But yeah, we'll move on. Drilling now. What was I up to? I was up to here. Being a general. Increased damage is done by 50% when regiments have engaged and there are no opponents that can fight them. So they basically increase the damage by... Whoa! When they're engaged, increased damage is done by 50%. Is that what I think it means? Wow. That's kind of cool, eh? I think that sort of buffs like your high initiative troops like archers and stuff when they get into the fight and there's no enemy there yet. And then it's... Because I think the meta before was building lots of heavy cavalry. What would be your goals with playing campaigns to Swedes? Well, basically you'd play the Swedish Empire in 1701 at its height. Like, you just control all of North Germany, or, parts of North Germany, also a bit of the Baltic states here. They also had some colonies, surprisingly, in the Caribbean. Somewhere here. Here we go. Yeah, they had some tiny colonies in Africa, in the Caribbean, in India. Like, people forget about this small-ash empire, and they actually were pretty dominant for a time until that Great Northern War, and then they slowly just got Fs. But yeah, interesting nation to play, I would say. I was playing them at EU4 at one point, but yeah, you got to break off from Denmark or something because they're like in a vassalage thing. Hey, is the pop chart now broken? Now I'm currently in a game. When I hover over the pop, it no longer shows the chart, but instead, are you running any mods? I haven't actually. I've just gone my PC and I've just seen these patch notes, so I'm not sure. I would not be surprised if they broke stuff. They probably broke stuff, man. This is Paradox. Like, they love breaking stuff. Sometimes when I'm running mods, sometimes that breaks it because you need some mods here, man. The UI mods are such a godsend. Check out my other video where I'm recommending mods. So good. And here we go. Transports now end up in reserves when you balance the navies. Oh, thank God. Thank God. They need to do the same thing with artillery. They need to do the same thing with artillery because I set them up in the reserves, but then sometimes when I split them up, they get messed up and then they get into the front lines, get killed. Because your early cannons are really not meant for fighting; they're meant for sieging, and you want them in your reserve. And they can bombard, but they can't do much damage. Like there's no damage going on. But I think the main changes here is basically the trade got really bad. Really bad. Well, if it's not showing up on your screen like Anders, like the pop chart, it must be a bug. If there's no mods, like I don't see another reason why it would not be showing. Sweden in EU4 was one of my fab nations to play. Dominate Scandinavia, North Germany, then entirely the HRE. Peak gaming, yeah. They're one of my favorite nations. I actually, when I was a kid, I played Roblox and I made an empire of Sweden. Funny story, and I had like 100 members. It was so cool because their uniforms are pretty cool. Like, let's have a look at their uniforms. Swedish troops, Great Northern War, and there's this doctrine of Gepar. Their tactics during the Great Northern War, and basically they had to just fire a couple of volleys and then charge in because they didn't really have enough manpower to keep fighting in these prolonged engagements. So yeah, they're basically holding on with a very small army, and it's quite a miracle they were able to survive for that long with such a small army against, you know, Russians, Poland, you know, these large Eastern European countries that, you know, were quite huge, had bigger populations. It's very interesting. Now, this is a cool one. The bombard phase now lasts 10 hours instead of 5 hours, and scaled earlier cannons now have a bigger chance to fire. Thank God. I feel like early cannons are quite weak. Like, it does make sense because we're in the 1300s, right? The cannons, they're not rifled, right? They're big, giant bombards. Let's have a look at a 1300s bombard. Now, this is like the sort of cannons that they're depicting in the game, and they're not that great. Like they're just big giant bells, man. Boom! Like, they're gonna miss. But I wish they did more morale damage. Like, come on. Like we want to see them do pretty well. But I just feel like heavy cavalry is very dominant. I might be wrong, but I think heavy cav is the most best unit in the early game to build, and not your cannons or these things. I wish these guys were powerful, but they're not. I just want them to be good. I want to build like an army of these dudes, but they just suck. Unfortunately. I'm hoping this bombard phase increase will make them more powerful, but I don't think it will, but we'll see how it works. Reworked how the levy combat power works and exposed the values and more interfaces. Yes. So when they say exposed values, does that mean that it shows all the unit numbers? Because I find like finding out how, like, what your the enemy army has is kind of annoying. Like how, like, what their units are, because it's just annoying to click through, and I had to install some mods to fix that. So hopefully that sort of fixes that. Privateers are now far a bit harder to get rid of. I actually haven't played with these guys yet. I did in a multiplayer game. There was a Moroccan player, and he had access to privateers, and he was being an annoying little against his neighbors like Castile. So they must be all right, eh? Because he was being an annoying fly in that instance. Our armies no longer have food access in neutral countries. That's a huge change. That's huge. Oh, it makes sense because you're just pillaging their food. So, and you're angry at them. So, like, that didn't make sense. But I think you should be able to do that at the cost of, like, opinion. Because, yeah, armies did in this period just, like, they pillaged everything. There was no concept of, like, until the probably into the 1800s, I would say, where they had dedicated, supply networks. It's all just like pillaged, or they just take all the food from their local cities and villages and go, "That's all mine. We're all taking it." That's basically how the logistics of this period works, and it's a bit weird. We can't take food, but we still take an opinion hit. But I like this change. I also don't like it. Like, I like it, but I don't like it. I think I should take an opinion hit. The number of colonial charters no longer increases by the number of charters you have. To be honest, guys, I haven't got to colonization yet. The game's too slow. The performance is still being worked on. And I think that's a big, fact for a lot of people, is that the tick speed is so slow for some people. So I'll have to see how this works out. But I'm getting close. Like, I'm playing as Milan, and I'm getting there. I'm building up my navy. I've taken over northern Italy. I'm about to fight Naples. Like, I'm getting there, but it takes time. And it's hard to see those colonial events when, you're not playing the colonial nations that much. Colonial nations can no longer be in adjacent subcontinents. No more colonial nations in North Africa. Oh, what? Technically, colonies existed, only in the ancient period, though, with the Greeks. They technically had colonies in North Africa, but this is 1300s, way later on. Look, I think it could be funny if they kept that in, but it does make sense. International organizations will now use a new trader policy in a script called Reasons to Join to evaluate the impact of said policy on joining an IO. It will no longer consider the values they'll use to determine when the AI wants to vote for the policy in the first place. Interesting. I'm pretty sure international organizations, that must be your coalitions, your HREs, I don't think is the Hansa international organization, because I remember a player playing was playing the Hansa, and that's kind of cool. But I don't think it was an organization. I'm not sure. Again, I haven't really played with international organizations that much. Exploration can now be spread to adjacent subcontinents after X amount of years. Makes sense. How quickly exploration spreads now depends on which age, as it goes fast with each age. Okay, so that sort of makes colonization faster. That's what I want to see. I want to see more colonial empires. I want to see the AI be a bit more aggressive in that sense, because I find the AI could be better, eh? I think the AI for the combat is really bad. I saw some AI changes, which I'm really excited about. So maybe I'm hoping that helps. And then we have balanced difficulty levels balanced difficulty levels. That's wrongly worded. Are a bit to make the game more fun. Bro, you got to fix that sentence. That's probably why I'm stuffing up all the time, because some of these sentences, man, are a bit weird. But I don't really play with difficulty levels that much in Paradox games, because it's mostly just cheats for the AI. Really. Like, it's mostly cheats, and they also gang up you more. It's not that fun. Because for me, I'm not really... I'm a mix of a metagamer and also a historical fanboy. Like, I like playing in the historical style. I like playing, immersively. I sometimes take suboptimal decisions to, form something that's not that great in terms of the gameplay, but it looks great historically, right? So, this isn't really concerning to me that much. I just play on the normal difficulty. Stockholm I don't know how to say these foreign words. I'm too much of an Anglo man. Skargard. The sea zone next to Stockholm is made from inland sea into narrows. Okay, so some map changes. Corrected the duplicity of Kama. I'm done, bro. I'm done. I'm fucking done, man. Provinces by renaming one, then it's just another map change. Added slave conversion. Sharia jurisprudence, harem law policies to the Ottomans at the start. I'm pretty sure, this is some different laws there. Interesting. Haven't played Ottomans yet. There's so many interesting countries in EU5. Way more interesting stuff to play with. I just think Ottomans is too vanilla for me. just too vanilla. I played them when I was a kid in EU4, and I'm exhausted. Correctly placed the unique location modifier Kremnica gold mine in the location of Kremnica, and a typo in its flag. Okay, so it was a fix. Denmark is no longer in danger of disaster at game start. Oh, thank God. I was actually thinking of playing Denmark, and this. Do they have like a bad event or something? Like Brandenburg? Oh no. What disaster was it? Maybe a civil war disaster. Corrected the regional numbers for Württemberg. Gunther von Schwarzberg. Blankenberg now rules over both. Okay, Schwarzberg. Okay. Adjusted the base development for the China region. Okay. But what did you adjust it to? Poland again. Wrocław is now the capital of the Duchy of Wrocław. I know I'm saying that wrong. I know I'm saying that wrong, eh? Is again the capital. So it wasn't the capital before. But it's called the Duchy of Wrocław. Okay. So yeah, it wasn't the capital before. Interesting. Corrected the city center of Prague. Added a market to Hansen-Kula to improve. Yeah, some of the markets, man, you can get cucked so hard if you're in the wrong market. Like I was playing Bulgaria, and I was in the Constantinople market, and I was playing multiplayer, and he had like high trade advantage. I was like, man, I can't compete with this dude. Like he's going to eat all my goods, so I had to create my own market, and that was kind of a cool moment. So you know, the different markets are like, I'm not sure if they're all balanced correctly. Because, yeah, Ottomans just take all your stuff, man, if you stay on their market. Oh, the natives get a modifier reward? What? New Kaoka Golden Age modifier reward now also gives 6 plus 6 monthly gold income. Bro, they're getting buffed so hard. Some random Native Americans. Like, I guess, like, because they're, like, in the middle of nowhere, so they need something, right? Just to do something, because I saw someone else play this, I think on YouTube, and it was just like, it was boring as fuck. I don't know why there's not more tribes in North America. Like, why isn't there more tribes? There must be like not many centralized tribes. I think they go off that. Like, there's not much centralization there. Removed many starting towns and cities from the Andes region to improve the food setup of the region. Yeah. I think a lot of the balancing, yeah, we need to do lots of balancing here. Because I find some starting locations can be absolutely unplayable. And like, you got to choose nations that are like, you know, tried and tested. I don't know who these guys are, but I always like pre-game wars. I always like starting in a war. It's more exciting. Jalarids. Let's have a look at who they are. Oh, okay. So it's in Iran or Persia. Yeah, that's a really unstable region. So yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. Add the new name to Rappold to the High German and Middle German dialects. Man, these little changes, man. They're so autistic, man. I'm like, bro, this is something we really need today. Added the ruler to the free city of Nuremberg. Or wait, there wasn't a ruler before? But it's a free cities. So what does a free city do? I haven't played as a free city. Getting free city vassal makes you invincible. Okay. Thanks, Reddit. Thanks. Okay, so free cities might be strong. I don't know, that's Reddit. I don't trust Reddit sometimes. Added some starting alliances to the Japanese Southern Court. Is that an actual country? What? Japanese Southern Court. Oh, wow. It's actually a country. Oh. Interesting. Haven't played in Japan yet. There's too many countries, man. But yeah, getting alliances at the start of the game can be a challenging thing. So I'm happy they're giving it, like, they're throwing a bone to some people if they're playing that. Corrected spelling of Moors to Moors. Made Flanders court language French. Made Sukin. But I'm just going to ignore some of these that are not important. Added more tin RGOs to the American continent. Yeah, there was a lot of metal on the American continent. And I think I want to see like someone import a lot of silver and gold and see if they can crash the market. I'm pretty sure you can do that. That would be so fun. I haven't seen anybody do it yet. I haven't seen anyone yet. Like I haven't seen a YouTube video saying, oh, I crashed the market with silver or gold. But you can already do it. Like someone was doing it in my multiplayer game as Bohemia. And that was so interesting. He like cut off all the gold, but that sort of hurt himself because he wasn't making any money off it. So you can play some economic warfare, but it sort of hurts you as well. But you're hurting other people. It's kind of fun because like you need gold to like make minting, like mint more stuff. Countries in the Mongol exploration template can now see the northern coast of Vietnam. Ooh. Because historically, they did invade Vietnam. The Mongols did invade Vietnam, I think. They also tried to invade Japan. I wonder if they can see Japan at the start of the game. Mongol exploration template. What is that like a... I don't know what that is, eh? Oh, I gotta make the Mongol Empire in EU5, man. Someone's already done it, bro. Oh my god. 1396. What? He must be cheating. There's no way. There's no way, bro. What? That's crazy. How did he do that? He has no vassals or anything. Nah, I call cheats. That must be cheats, guys. Like, look at that. There's no way. 13, what was it? 13, wow. 1396. Unless he's done some sort of exploit, like, geez, you have like so many rebels. Remove the only nobility as leader's noble privilege as an already granted privilege at the start for the Catholic military orders, so they can assign clergymen as generals. That makes sense. Like appointing clergymen as generals. But does it make sense? Because technically you're appointing church people instead of military people. Because the nobility is usually associated with these military orders. Because usually the kings or these monarchies would send their second sons or like their spares to fight in these military orders because they couldn't sort of inherit the country. So again, I don't think this is a historically accurate change. Because, a lot of nobility did fight in these Catholic military orders. And I'm pretty sure there were a diverse mix of French and English. Like, it's a whole diverse mix of different cultures, right? Because they're fighting, these infidels, these so-called infidels. But yeah, that period where the Prussian Crusaders in the East, like, that's a whole different historical period I got to get my thinking cap on about. Because I haven't done much reading about it. Fix the description of the worship patron god tooltip. Don't care. I don't know where that is, bro. Who plays in Mesoamerica? Like, please say in the chat, man. Like, do you play in that region? Because when I look at the stats, man, like, I'm not trying to be like Western like biased, but when you look at the stats for these type of games, everyone's playing in Western Europe. Everyone. In CK3, I'm pretty sure Anglo-Saxon was the most picked like culture. Like it's that funny. Paradox focusing on Europe is a good business decision for them. Earldoms of Moray, Galloway, and Orkney. So this is Ireland, I'm pretty sure. Start with the expel Northern Europe. Explore locations instead of... Oh, so they can see a bit more? Oh, okay. Interesting. I wonder how that'll affect their locations or colonization. It'll be interesting to see if you can... I haven't seen anyone form an island country yet, but this is still early days. There's so many little countries you can form, man. Lordship of Isles gets galley lords reform and state piracy. That's a cool policy, eh? I've seen that in the game. I haven't tried it yet, but it basically allows you to be a pirate. I think it's better than EU4 piracy. It's not in the wiki, man. Piracy. Piracy law policies. So you can hire privateers. That's how it works. Oh, wow. Letters of marque. Oh, that's so cool. But is it like independent of you? So basically you can be a pirate as a Scottish as the Scottish man. Oh, that's funny. Someone's no longer Muslim. Oh, that's a French name, isn't it? Marie de Chatillon. Let's check out their history. Oh, it's a woman. Wow. Yeah, why was she Muslim? It looks like a normal noble woman, and they just made her Muslim. Maybe there's some like obscure source that says they're Muslim, bro. I don't know. Added the Lian country. I think that's a Chinese country. Lian. Let's see. Let's check the historical accuracy right now. It must be the Lian dynasty. No, it's not. This is 500s. Huh. It must be just a minor country then. And Yuan. Where is this? In China, obviously. Yeah. Okay, so a new country in China. Cool. I haven't played in China yet. Because every country I play in China, man, they always get like negative debuffs. It's kind of funny, man. Like that's why I avoid playing in China, because like Paradox always loves to nerf China so heavily. And it's just not fun to play with. I haven't played this new CK3 DLC, man, with the China stuff. Kind of cool. Tell me, guys, if what you think of the patch. I think it's a pretty good patch. I just think they nerfed trade too hard, but then I heard and they have a new hotfix coming out soon that's going to like revert the changes for the trade. Rhodos now starts the dock building. Very nice. What is Rhodos? Like, I'm just so curious of these names, man. Like, they're so foreign to me. Oh, okay, Greece. Okay, so that's buffing Greece a bit, or Byzantium, I'm pretty sure. Because Byzantium's way too easy to take over. Oh no, it's a little island. Makes sense then, because it's a little island country. Seems pretty developed too in our modern day, so... Yeah, Byzantium is so... It needs to be buffed. Like, I was playing a multiplayer game, and... Like, Constantinople didn't take like 1,000,000 years to siege. It should take 1,000,000 years to siege, but it doesn't. And I was able to partition Constantinople with the Ottomans in a multiplayer game. It was just way too easy. Because historically, the Byzantine Empire lasted so long. So long. It's because of those fortifications they built that was so next level. What was I up to? The Knights now start with privateer contracts. Ooh. But who are the Knights? Do you mean all the Knights? The Knights. Do you mean the Knights Hospitaller? Or everyone? So it's an actual single country. Oh, the Knights Hospitaller. Okay. I can't remember if this was on an island. Because there is a Knight Order that is on the islands. Google Maps. Yeah, Malta. Yeah, that's where they are. They also held some land in Tripoli. But that's the 14th century, eh? What? What? They held land in the Caribbean? Are you that's nuts, man. Oh, this is making me want to play the Knights, dude. Holy crap, look at this. That must be fake. There's no way they held that for like a couple of years. That's nuts, guys. Did you know that? The Knights of Hospital owned a couple of islands in the Caribbean for a small amount of time. And that kind of makes sense then if they have privateer contracts. What else do we got here? England ruling history removes repeated kings. Yep. Need to fix that. Added the military orders clergy estate privilege to both Portugal and Aragon at the start. Interesting. So that they actually have military orders privilege. I wonder if they actually had that historically. Portugal and Aragon, did they have some military orders? Oh, so this is Edward Ballawong? My pronunciation's terrible today. That's a Scottish name. People always try and correct me. Go, that's actually Bailey Ul. Wow, I'm done, bro. I'm cooked. So he has the unique air of empty coat modifier, granting some additional life expectancy. Okay, cool. But the problem with this, like the Scottish rebels, I wish as England I could just jump in and help them. It's so weird. Like I was playing England, I couldn't help them out. The Scottish rebels, like there should be an option to intervene, but apparently in the game I can't. I wish there was though. If there is a way, please tell me. Like, I want to help them out and just cuck Scotland so hard, but and then just like vassalize the rebels later on. Modified some royal goods and advances for Savoy for a better diplomatic starting position against its vassals. Okay, kind of cool. Situations completely refactored the AI weights the rise of Turk situations. Yeah, I find the Ottomans, they don't really form that well. Like they take ages to form. Like they do like get land, but it's too slow. I never see the Ottomans form that fast. So I'm happy to see that. Reduce the cost of press claims in the, yeah, that's so good. That'll make the Ottomans easier to snowball. So I want to see the Ottomans gain prominence. The rise of Turks' action inspect fortifications now temporarily raises control a bit, so another buff. Fixed an issue with AI not using, yep, fix another AI issue. Italian wars action plan campaign in Italy. But the thing is, with the Italian wars, like I've already taken over like nearly all Italy by then. As we can see, I'm pretty sure the Italian wars is in the 1500s. Yeah, it's a very late period between the French and Habsburgs. French-Habsburg rivalry. Yeah, that was a whole thing, the Habsburgs, man. Because they actually had a claim to Naples, I'm pretty sure, or they actually held Naples. And that was a whole conflict. But by the time I reached that period, like I already own all of Italy. I just think the game's a bit too easy in terms of conquest, because the AI is just kind of dumb. Like I wish it was more, like I wish it was EU4 levels, but we just don't have that at the moment. So basically making these actions here more incentivized and used by the AI. Added information about the effects of the little ice. Oh, what? There's a little ice age. Yeah, that's cool, man. I actually didn't know that there was a little ice age situation, which is like, you know, a more colder climate, right? For the entire, was it the entirety of Europe? I'm pretty sure. Lowered the price for the Rays Bay Fortress. Again, they're just buffing Ottomans so hard right now. Look at this. They're lowering the prices for everything. 100 Years War CVs now correctly grant the superiority war goal instead of take capital. Huh. So you actually you don't have to take the capital anymore. Which makes sense because I'm pretty sure in the 100 Years War, like those different wars, like I don't think the English ever got close to taking Paris. Let's have a look. Siege of Paris. 100 years. Let's see if there's actually a siege of Paris. Yes, there was. Actually, a couple, actually. I'm entirely wrong. Wow. Okay. So it's definitely possible. Man, I love this artwork. Okay, there's like a lady here. I don't know who this is. Oh, it's Jeanne d'Arc. Yeah, wow. But she's like leading the troops, man, from behind. Wow. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. Where was I up to? I totally missed where I was. The leagues of the Italian wars, but I was up to the 100 Years' War. Some of these are very small changes I'm not really concerned about. Yeah, I was up to here. It's a pretty war goal. So I don't know. I just think the 100 Years' War is too like it's a bit too easy because like the AI is just kind of dumb. Like even though I lost in my previous campaign while I was streaming, like that was just like me just stuffing up in terms of the control of my army. Like if I didn't disband my navy at the start accidentally, like I accidentally clicked it and I just got rid of my professional navy, right? I could have been able to defeat France. But so if you don't like kill France in the crib, they get too powerful, man. Because their pops get out of control. And later on, I'll show you a multiplayer game where they're just getting out of control. Because when the player controls them, they just get crazy. And they even survived the Black Death in my multiplayer game pretty well. They just tanked it. Red Turban Rebellions. Wow, I've never heard of that term before. So this is in China. Now, I love they included all these historical events. It's really rare for a Paradox game to have a lot of flavor at the launch. Like, they didn't need to add all these little rebellions and stuff like that, but they did. So it's nice to see that they've paid attention to that. Red Turban Rebellions, Loyalist events will no longer be able to trigger multiple times. Another classic bug. Rise of Turk situation. Action Raised Bay Fortress can now be used in cities owned by... Again, another buff to Ottomans. More buffs, more buffs, more buffs. Fixed issue where clans being landed during the Sogoku would steal the last location of another clan, causing a game over. Oh wow, that would be so cocked, eh? Wow. Yeah, I haven't played in Japan yet. I've heard that it's kind of weird because like your clan, you don't actually own the land or something. I'm not sure how it works, but I was playing multiplayer and it was a bit weird. It's not like your normal European nations. Fixed some wrong logic in the deletion of Japanese clan buildings. Okay. So a lot of bug fixes. I'm very happy to see it. I'm very happy that Joanne and his team, like they really knocked out of the park in terms of the release. And I'm pretty sure, guys, that the guys, like the developers who made this game, they're the same people who made what's that called? The Murtaxes mod for EU4. I'm pretty sure some of the developers from this mod made this game. There's no way like they didn't, like some of them came over. Yeah, see? Glad to know the MT3 is still updating when EU5 is releasing. So some of them came on board for this game. And it's great. I love this mod, but like I couldn't run it. As you can see, there's some very similar designs. You can see the pops there. But I couldn't run it. Like it was too much for my computer. It was too laggy, man. And they're able to bring their vision in EU5, man. What was I up to? I always lose what I should highlight something. Again, these are all minor changes. Don't really care about this. Don't really care about that. You can no longer manually invite countries to leagues, the Italian wars. They will join and leave their own via the situation panels to join. So reducing some micro there. Yeah. The ending event for the little ice age will no longer randomly fire via the monthly event pulse. Wow. The AI is now better participating in the Hussite wars. Yeah, that was an interesting war. But anything that improves the AI in those events, like, it's better because I just find the AI is terrible. I'll keep saying that over and over again because it is. It just need to make them better at playing the game. All right, we're up to disasters. So adding some missing event icons to some disasters. Ensure that both the York and Lancaster dynasties marry their suitable male members so the War of the Roses can start. What? So this is an interesting change because I was playing an England game and they spawned in a York courtier in my game. Like they don't come naturally. So they basically spawn characters like Lancasters and York, like like males, and now they're making it so they marry each other, and that sort of kicks off the War of the Roses, which is kind of cool. But the War of the Roses is my sort of favorite period. Like, it's my most favorite thing I read about because it was centuries of civil war, centuries. They call it the Cousins' War because, you know, like they were fighting, it was family against family. Like they were all related in the house of Plantagenet. And even when one king took over, like, you know, Henry VI, where he was ousted, right? And the new king, Edward, I think it was King Edward, I'm not sure. Yeah, King Henry VI, and then the Duke of York, he got killed. Like, he got his head chopped off and his head was on a spike. Like, this is what Game of Thrones was inspired by. And they, like, George R. R. Martin, man, like, he just fully copied this historical event, like this huge civil war. And you could see everything just he copied. And this woman right here, man, she's a powerhouse. Like, she's crazy. Like, she's an actual, like, she stepped in to defend the Lancastrian king, Henry VI, when he was a pretty poor king. The reason why the War of the Roses started was because Henry VI was a terrible ruler when he ascended the throne, when his father died. And that sort of just kicked off everything because everyone thought they had a claim to the throne, right, by their blood. And yeah, and then that just started 100 years of constant, basically 100 years, I would say. It says that the conflict ended in 1487, but even then there was still some troubles in the 1500s. You know, some people trying to rise up, but they had like a little failed rebellion. Even like in the end, they had people pretending to be the king. Like, there were people who like weren't actually related to any of the houses, but they pretended to be king, and people just ran with it. You know, like I forgot who they were, but it was at the end of the War of the Roses, and they just said, I'm the king, man," and then like everyone just followed him. Like, it's nuts. Like, that's how you know, unstable England was during that period. And I'm happy that it's in the game, but I haven't got to that yet. I want to see it. And it shows you that even in this late period where it's supposedly more centralized, like a bit in the 1400s, like still there was these huge civil wars that wrecked the country, and anyone could be king, like if they had like a little bit of royal blood in them. You know, like, oh, he's the king because like his great mother was French, like she was a Capulet or something. Like, it was just like that sort of thing. I don't know why I was saying Capulet, like that's more the French claim to the throne, but yeah. The decline of the empire disaster now is adjusted and better requirements to trigger and finish. Decline of the empire. But which empire? Again, these sentences are so like, I don't know which event they're talking about if I haven't played it. Decline of the empire. It must be the HRE. Oh, I think it's... Oh, Rise of Timur. What the fuck? I'm trying to find out what this event is. The Khmer Empire? Must be, I don't know. Again, could be a bit more specific there. Corrected the dynamic descriptions of the end of the Hook and Cod Wars. The end of the Hook and Cod Wars. That's an interesting name. Let's have a look. What a weird name. These European conflicts, man, like, just crazy. Comprise a series of wars and battles in the county of Holland between 1350 and 1490. Most of these wars were fought over who should be the counts of Holland. The Cod faction, generally considered the more progressive cities of Holland. So basically a civil war in the county of Holland. Huh. Again, so much death, man. Like, again, they didn't need to include this event, but they did. It's such a minor thing, bro. Affixed the trigger of the Muscovite Succession War disaster that was requesting 2,500% rebel progress instead of the Yeah, that was a huge bug. Fix an issue that caused the Chinese treasure fleet to break when visiting a country that got annexed. Wow. Chinese treasure fleet. Like, what? Is that like a situation or something? There's so much content in this game I'm missing. Chinese treasure fleet. Is that an actual thing in the game? That is nuts. I know of this historically, but look at these boats, man. Wow. The Chinese did have a huge empire in that period. And they were mostly focused on themselves or internally. Like, they didn't want to sort of colonize anything, really. They sort of just focused on, I guess, their cultural dominance instead of direct colonization. But yeah, very interesting. Fix the wrong trigger. Again, some of these I don't know. I haven't played around with this yet. I've been playing with this in multiplayer and I still don't know what it does. This patriarchy thing, which is an orthodox thing. Christian church. Okay. But it doesn't say that specifically. I'm not a huge expert on orthodox stuff at all. I played around with it in the game. Its members are trying to join others, so that's good. They're actually fixing something there with the religion. Power of the Emperor description is no longer displays broken keys. Oh, thank God. So these are all international organizations. This game fixes, not nothing too crazy. Refine the AI voting behavior and policies. Enforce religious unity. Action can no longer be used on countries that otherwise blocked from conversion. Thank God. Turn the overall imperial diet from resolution to a generic action. What do you mean by IO frame? International organization. Okay. Okay, that's just a cool thing there. Also now allows you to overrule the HRE Parliament. I'll be honest, guys, like, I do not participate in these international organizations. And I'll be blunt, like, I'm a warfare Chad, man. I don't muck around. I don't do like lots of trade, and I just conquer, man. I just spread out and I just make an empire. I just don't care because you can't reason with bots, man. You can't reason with the bots, the AI bots. So I have to bring them into the fold militarily. So like if the HRE exists, like they have to go. Like the HRE in these games always just blocks me from expanding. Always blocks me. And you know, and Germany's a good place to conquer because they have so many pops, man. They have so many cities, like urbanized cities, especially Italy. Like northern Italy is so prosperous. I'll show you my game later in Milan where I've got all these cities, man. That's so good. Added a casus belli for the Holy Roman Empire against non-members who vassalize members. Whoa. Yeah, that would be annoying because like the Holy Roman Empire has no teeth, man. I've been able to expand like without any troubles in the Holy Roman Empire. Like sure, Austria sometimes gets involved, like they want to stop me, but they're so weak, man. If you look at my shorts, like I'm conquering Austria with English soldiers. Like it's just funny. Like it's Austria is so weak. So weak. They need to be buffed. Upon revoking the privilegia, countries that refuse to swear fealty will now also lead the HRE. So they should. They should lead the HRE, man. Because the HRE really is really just a whole defensive alliance. I still agree with Voltaire, man, like saying it's not an empire, it's not holy, you know, it's not Roman, okay? The guy who got crowned, you know, the Holy Roman Emperor, I think he was the first, I think, yeah, Charlemagne, wasn't it? Yeah, Charlemagne, who was the first? Like, he was a barbarian, man. Like, let's be real. This guy, man, he's not even a true Roman. Like, he's a German, I think. And, like, people think he's Roman, bro. I'm like, nah. Yeah. Yeah, 962. Even the sources are conflicting here a bit. saying when it started. He thought he was Roman, man. Like, since Charlemagne, the realm was merely referred to as the Roman Empire. Yeah, but you're not real Romans. Everyone pretends to be Romans, man. King of the Franks, King of the Lombards. But ethnically, he was not Roman. Like, he wasn't in Italy. I'm pretty sure. Like, when's it tell his, like, your eldest son of Pepin the Short? Yeah. Like, Germans, like, they're not, yeah, Pepin der Kurs. Like, he's not Roman. Like, like, that's not a Roman name, dude. Like, he's not Italian or, so all these people LARPing as Romans, they're saying they're the Holy Roman Empire. Like, it's just crazy. But he was a great commander. He was a great ruler. That's why he's still remembered in history, is because he made a really huge empire. And when he died, it just sort of split up. And that's how, I'm pretty sure that's how it got into the HRE. Like, just very basic explanation there. The call to defense for all event now properly targets, I don't know what that is. Call to defense to all event now properly targets the country you're at war with. I think that's like the event that pops up when, with your allies? I'm not sure. The event Ravages of War now occurs only once every 6 months. I find the negative events in this game are way too much. Like, you just get negative event, one after the other. It's kind of crazy. Like, I was playing a multiplayer game, I was just getting these negative events. I'm like, use like 100 gold. I'm like, okay, man. Like, like, yeah, I'll lose 100 gold for no reason. Like, I just get nothing out of it, which makes sense because, like, you know, they want to add some role play, saying, "Oh, you lose some gold here, man." Like, oh, okay. Increase the spawning of pops with the Cossack culture. Oh, dude, the devs, they're biased, man, to the Cossacks. There's a Cossack culture, but technically, Cossacks aren't a culture. Like, is Cossacks a culture? I'm pretty sure it's like a lifestyle. Is Cossacks a culture? Because it's more of a general term describing, you know, the Slavic people, like the nomadic Slavic peoples. I wouldn't say it's like East Slavic, East Christian people from the steppe. I guess you could call it a culture, but that's a more general thing, isn't it? I just think it's weird having a culture called, you know, Cossacks. Cossack culture. It's a bit too broad. The Ottoman events that moved to the capital to Edirne or the Constantinople now maintain some of the proximity and Bursa via location modifier. I think that's pretty good. I think that's another buff to Ottomans, eh? So it maintains the proximity. Okay. Yeah, proximity is huge hit, man. The rebellion of John Offerson will likely trigger. The rebellion of Johan Offerson. That must be a Swedish name. Yeah, it's Swedish. I was right. But who is this? Who is this, guys? It's on. I can only find information on the Paradox forum, man. Like, there's not even a Wikipedia. Must be some obscure, like... Wait, there's someone on Family Search, man. Like, oh, that's so funny. It's so obscure, man, that, like, Paradox adds these, like, obscure rebellions that, like, not even Wikipedia shows up. Oh, that's funny. Oh, no, I think my stream's kind of weirding out. It says YouTube's not receiving enough video. What? Tell me if the stream is working or not. YouTube's saying it's not working. Polish event now has more realistic requirements. Oh no, it's working. Now it's fixed itself. Polish event, the Pacta Coventa. I always like looking at these little events. There's an agreement concluded between King Koloman of Hungary and the Croatian nobility in 1102. So sort of like a Magna Carta defined the status of, oh no, it's of Croatia and the union with Hungary. Oh, okay, so that's the personal union with Croatia and Hungary, which Hungary always gets. So that makes it harder for them to bring in Croatia. Is that what it means? Now it has more realistic requirements, but what are those realistic requirements? Polish event, the Najwaza privileges. Set of laws enacted by the Kingdom of Poland in 1454 in the town of Nysa. The King Casimir made a number of concessions to the Polish nobility. Okay, so basically, yeah, the king just cucking himself for the nobility. A usual thing that happens in this period. Again, I wish that EU5, like there was a reason to support the nobles, but it's just too geared to like trying to centralize power, which makes sense, but I don't see like any good side of going nobles. Like maybe you get like more mailed knights. That's how, because when you get more nobles, like you get more noble levies, which gives you more knights, but that's it. Like I can't think of any good. There's like some good trade-offs in the privileges, but they're just compared to other estates, like they're the worst. I think the burgher's the best estate right now. Yeah, I think burghers, because the amount like trade is pretty good, even though it's been nerfed. I think it's going to be still powerful. And he, like Jawan sort of nerfed it, right? But he's rolled back the changes of the trade. The event, a neighboring tactical genius, will not affect the same ruler. I love these events, bro. They just like make your stuff more powerful, man. There's like will not affect the same ruler. What do you mean by that? It will not affect the same ruler. Yuan rebels will no longer be able to call themselves Northern Yuan. Why not? Are they just Yuan rebels now? Yuan rebels. Thuringian count wars can no longer target countries. Yeah, there's so much content in this game. So much content. Another vassal war against the aristocratic families against the House of Wettin for the supremacy in Thuringia. Okay, so another civil war. Can no longer target countries. Yeah, that would F up the event, eh? If they target countries they're already war with. German migrations should no longer depopulate single locations as aggressively. Good. We don't want to lose those pops, man. Acquisition of Landsberg event chain will no longer force the player to be annexed. Acquisition of Landsberg. I think we're having a history lesson here, guys. Not even YouTube. I mean, Wikipedia does not say anything about this. Margravate of Landsberg. Okay, so it's just some random German land in Roman Empire. I mean, if you're the player, like this would be annoying. Say if you're playing as like this country, right? Let's say hypothetically you choose like you're just like randomly picking something in the HRE and just click on this country and you just get annexed. Like it's just funny. That would be so infuriating. So I'm happy they changed that. And the inheritance of Sachsen-Wittenberg will now correctly switch the player to Meissen before forming Saxony. Okay, so that's an event to form Saxony, basically. To help form Saxony. Disagreeing advisor no longer allows you to kill heirs or members of the crown estate. No! Why not? Oh, that's so funny, bro. I know that event. Like when an advisor like disagrees with you, like when that pops up, and you can just kill the dude like off with his head, and that could be like your that could be your family. That's so funny. It doesn't make sense, but technically it does. Like because they actually did that. So Paradox, you're being historically accurate here. Like if we just look at the executions and the wars, like they were chopping off heads left, right, and center. Doesn't matter if you're related to the king at all. Like they didn't care. Like they were like, we have to eliminate everybody. Like let's look at the Battle of Bosworth aftermath. Like they didn't really care about Richard III that much. He was killed. Now let's actually look up Richard III. Like he was surrounded and killed. And even though he was a member of that dynasty, man, like they still killed him. It was that brutal. And that was in a contestation of like in the Civil War, you know? And you think they'd show some mercy, but they didn't. They're like, you got to go, dude. Like, where's his death? See, they actually found his remains too. He was like, his body was like under a bridge or something, and some skeletons, like his skeleton. They didn't even bother to bury him. That's how brutal they were to their enemies, to their rival claims to the throne, right? So that's not really far off the mark to be killing your family members, really, because he was like distantly related to, you know, his opponent, Edward IV, I believe. Is it Edward IV? I always mix up the names. No, Henry Tudor. I'm so stupid. Wow. Look at him, bro. He looks so small. It's amazing how Henry Tudor was able to ascend the throne of England because he was like a nobody. Like he had barely any claim to the throne, and he was able to collect support from multiple places, and he just had luck on his side, I think. Because yeah, he had barely any claims to the throne, barely anything in his heritage. So yeah, it's not. Again, I don't agree with that change. I think it's like, yeah, a bit excessive to be killing your family members, but you know, add some sort of strategy where like maybe you don't like some of your members, and like maybe you could make it a different event where they're sort of, you know, enemies of the state, or maybe they, you know, are plotting against you. Maybe there could be an event like that. I haven't seen an event where it's like, oh, your family members, they might revolt against you, because that's a real thing that could happen. The Vaughan Scab event now affects the serfdom versus free subjects societal value. But which side does it affect? I guess it's an event where you can choose to affect both of these. I always like free subjects the most. I'm pretty sure it gives you more innovation. I can't remember. Serfdom's like more food, I think, but it's just bad. But you know, I'm still like a fan of role playing. Like, even if it's a bad value, like serfdom, like if you want to role play, like go for it. I think a lot of people, they overemphasize the min-maxing of this game, and I feel like it's fun playing as a shitty country, especially in Victoria 2, and even a bit of Victoria 3. Even though I hate Victoria 3, you know, I did like the way they handled some things, not all of it though. The Red Turban Rebellion event, fainting influence in Korea, will now kick Yuan and Korea out of any common wars before if Korea chooses to rebel against Yuan. So Korea is actually in the sphere of China. Okay. Interesting. The Red Turban event, feigning influence in Korea, will now kick Yuan. Yeah, wow. So Korea can like get out of that. Will now kick. Huh, interesting. The Ottoman event, the Great Mosque of Bursa, now offers better options. Great Mosque. So basically, I think it's a buffet. Yeah, they're just buffing the Ottomans, man. They keep buffing them. Give it to them. Every event I've seen so far about the Ottomans is just like them tweaking it to be better. Converts to Islam, part of the decline of Majapahit events, no longer fires repeatedly for the same province. Cool. Yeah, Majapahit was a little Indonesian kingdom, like a Hindu empire. And yeah, they had a pretty good call over this area, eh? Be interesting players, mate. The Ottoman event, coins in our name, now grants the minting threshold and crown power. Again, another buff. This is your time, guys. Play the Ottomans now. Improve the pressuring the English enclaves modifier for Scotland from the English border enclaves event. Huh. This doesn't really affect me because I just like blob into Scotland and I just take it over. Like, it's just funny. I don't see the content for this because I just conquer Scotland immediately. Like, there's no point in having these events where I just destroy them. Like, I think blobbing's too easy in terms of vassals. Even though like it's not as bad as EU4, you can still expand. Just in the terms of vassalage, you know. Added additional tooltips to the Sunset of Kahuko. I'm so bad at my pronunciation. The largest is the site of a Native American city directly across the Mississippi River. So it's like so it's a city. So that's why they're only like tribe represented in North America, is that they actually had an urban city. Wow. An ancient city, but much larger. So it's like sort of like your Tenochtitlan. Okay, cool. So when it says sunset, does that mean a bad event? The plight of okay. Bro, are these historical events, man? Like, I swear they're probably just like buffing them so they survive. The event that spawns lawlessity in England now takes into account low pop satisfaction, high development, high literacy when choosing how many pops to join the initial conversion. That makes sense because I always found these heresies, especially in EU4, to be like nothing burgers. Like, they weren't annoying too much. Like, they were like a little bit annoying, but it's nice to see that they're actually fixing that, making them a bit more powerful. I just find rebels in general are just not that good. Like, they're just so weak. Like, I was playing a multiplayer game. I'll keep saying this. I'll be referring to my multiplayer game. And Bohemia was taxing his nobles a lot. And he just kept killing the nobles over and over again in rebellions because he's taxing them constantly just to get as much money as possible. Because if you tax the nobles a lot, then they just lose out on all their money and they just can't get as powerful. Because they like building castles, which makes them more powerful. So if you can sort of stop that, then you can sort of hamper their growth a little bit. And yeah, this is sort of the same, like this is sort of tangentially related, but just an interesting fact, you know, about the game so far. Event Reformation will no longer choose Latin. Huh. Oh, makes sense. Because, yeah, didn't Protestantism reject sort of the Latin, Catholicism? Again, I'm not a religious person. Unfortunately, I'm not a religious person. But I think that makes sense. Because, Protestantism is like a rejection of, traditional Catholicism, right? And, they wouldn't use Latin, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they made Bibles that were actually in the, in their country's language, because, you couldn't translate the Bible from Latin to the country's language. So that sort of makes sense. Minor grammatical fixes for some tree of Tordella's events. Yeah, that treaty, man. Tordella's. Tordesillas. I'm so bad. I know I'm saying that wrong. This was the treaty that halved, the claims of colonies, right, between Portugal and Spain. The Pope basically said, "Hey, you guys can own all of, like, half of everything. Like Portugal, you get this half of the world, and Spain, you get this half of the world." And of course, no one listened to the Pope. No one listened to them. It's like a meme treaty. Like, sure, it's cool. Like, the Pope gave them control, but no one cared. No one cared. England still got in there. France still got in there. Like, that did not stop them. And just another fix. Great pestilence event. Exodius of target location. Has less impact on the clergy. So this is all Protestant stuff. Haven't got to the Reformation yet, because again, we're starting in the earlier start dates it's way too long to get to the Reformation. And again, that's probably one thing about EU5 that you could say is a bad thing, is that we start too early. We start in like the Middle Ages. We start like in Crusader Kings 3. And it's a bit weird. Because like we sort of associate Europa Universalis with, the early modern period, like just the beginning. And they've gone back in time a bit into the Middle Ages a bit. But I still like it. It makes it, we can play longer. Fix the issue, the Danish event, just as the triggering event for the Treaty of Tangild. The Treaty of Tangild. What is that? 1500. Oh no, 1372. The treaty signed in 1372 in the village in Portugal. It was signed by King Ferdinand I of Portugal and the representatives of John of Gaunt, Duke of Lancaster, a claimant to the crown of Castile. Oh, that's right. Yeah, there were some Plantagenets who did have a claim to Castile. I actually have a claim to Castile right now in my game, which is kind of cool. But I can't press it because like Portugal is like buddies with France, I'm pretty sure, in my game. No, I think that's good. Oh no, I'm confused. I'm so tired. It says they made the treaty in Portugal, but it was signed by, oh no, it is Portugal. I'm stupid. Because it says King Ferdinand I of Portugal, a claimant to the crown of Castile and son of the English king. This agreement is considered to have consisted the first legal foundation of the Anglo-Portuguese alliance. Oh, I thought it was entirely leading to a different thing. I thought it was leading to this thing, like a claimant to the crown of Castile. I thought it was going to talk about that. But no, it's actually the Anglo-Portuguese alliance. And this is where it began, basically. Okay. So it's actually in the game. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool indeed. But that's a bit later in the game, isn't it? Yeah, they adjusted the triggering. Rewards for destroying the patriarchy will no longer stack. I think modifier stacking in this game is too prevalent. Again, even though they've made the game more simulationist, there's still some modifier stacking that they have to fix. I've seen it too much. Again, I'm too much of a Victoria 2 fanboy where there's like no modifiers. Like there are some modifiers, but they're only in research and that's it. Really. Or they just have like little bonuses here or there, but it's not as egregious as EU5 where there's a bunch of bonuses everywhere. But then again, I'm really happy with the game, so I'm not too concerned about modifier stacking. I'm tired of Crusader Kings 3 modifier stacking, and I hate to see it in EU5. So I'm happy that they're trying to fix certain things related to that. Events Sublimus. Oh, Duis. What is this? I've got so many Wikipedia pages open trying to find out what these events are. A papal bull. Oh, which forbids the enslavement. Oh, okay. Which forbids the enslavement of the indigenous people of Americas. Yeah, religion was a huge part in sort of that sort of history, right? In trying to stop the enslavement. Because, it wasn't, Christian to enslave people really. So that's why they sort of they were the spearhead in that sort of movement, right? Like a sort of contradiction. The event, a heretic prince, now properly shows the name of the HRE emperor. Heretic prince. What is that? It's a fantasy book. Some fantasy books, man. I know this is a historical event. Come on. It's a country event. This is EU4. It doesn't tell you what it is. Heretic prince. Oh, so I think it means, yeah, the Protestant Reformation. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's because yeah, it did happen in Germany. It did happen a lot. So that makes sense. Now properly shows the name. Oh, it's just a bug fix, but still it's interesting to see that. Blocking the event, the jealous brother from happening to unions. What? The jealous brother, man? The jealous brother. Is someone getting cocked, man? What? Bro, I'm scared to look up that event right now. The jealous brother. What a name. What a name for an event. Fix the color of a negative opinion to be consistently red. A lot of fixes. I'm just going to go over these. Like, they're not too crazy. Regulated naval service policy increases the naval levy size instead of the Berger levy size. Again, another bug fix. Oh no, maybe it's a change. It's a change, isn't it? Naval levy size instead of Berger levy size. So basically, you're buff to your naval levy size if you choose that policy. Because I think if you draw from the Bergers, it's less efficient. I think it is. I'm just going to go through these. Like, some of these are not that important. They're just like tiny fixes. Let's see if we can find something important here. The rule of delivery only in orders now called Landmeister instead of Hochmeister. Nice. I gotta play. My next playthrough is going to be Knights, man. I'm going to try and survive as the Teutonic Knights. Because you start at war with Poland and you have like, you're still outnumbered. You think they get like a fully professional army, but they don't for some reason. Restored the original county history for Austria. Okay, we got some balance changes to these galley lords reforms. Allows navy levies to be raised even when they're not at war. Now gives a malice to diplomatic reputation. Ooh, so some debuffs there. I'm pretty sure galley lords haven't played around with this law yet. Well, it looks like it's related to Florence. It might buff your galleys though. But if it's called galley lords, it must be buffing the nobility. And anything that buffs the nobility, I'm really hesitant to look at. Again, it's not there. Oh, this law here, only nobility as leaders, is so bad. Like, it just cocks you so hard. Everyone's blocked from your command. It's not too bad because you can, like, marry your kids and make characters that way. But does it block your family? No, it doesn't. So yeah, I guess you can make it work if you're like appointing your family as like when you breed them to be good. Because if you're having a bunch of kids in your family, right, and they pop out a bunch of kids, you just make them all your commanders. So you can sort of like get around that a little bit if you get that. Yeah, there's so many privileges though. And I don't think this has been solved yet, which one's the best ones? Because there are some trade-offs in terms of these privileges though. And some of them I do keep, and some of them I do throw away. But yeah, that's not here. Galley lords. I thought it would be a privilege of the nobility. I like this reference. Hey, that is a reference to this artwork. There's some references here, bro. Look at this. Chivalry. See, they copied that. Paradox copies shit, man. See, it's the same photo. I mean, it's the same artwork, man. Look. But this is more of a 19th century painting. Wait, that's AI. That must be. But I shouldn't talk, man. I use AI sometimes. But like, yeah. Paradox copies some stuff, man, which I like. I like them using historical artworks. Even 19th century ones, which sort of glamorize, you know, the Middle Ages, right? A little bit. Because, like, yeah, chivalry did sort of exist, but it sort of didn't. Because if chivalry did exist, why did the War of the Roses happen? You know, why did they all execute each other in this brutal fashion? And people call the War of the Roses like the death of chivalry, really, because like it's contestable. If I'm trying to find out where I've lost. Oh no, I've lost it. No, I think I've lost it actually. I've got too many tabs open. I don't want to delete these yet. I'll look at them later. Patches. Oh no, I've lost my place now. Unless I have it on a different... No. I think I know where I was though. I was past the military. I think I was over here somewhere. Yeah, government. Over here, I was over here, yeah. Galley lords. Yeah, I was here, galley lords. Are they buffing galley lords then? Yeah, wow. Or maybe not. Here's a malice. They said it twice. Look. Unless I'm missing something, they said that twice. There's some typos. Now requires 25 naval, 25 belligerent. Let's just skip that. Not that important. Okay, they're doing some balance changes to the laws, which was nice to see. Because some of them are like, there's only like one good one, and that's it. Like, which one did I like? I like the regulated naval services because that sort of buffs your burgers. I do like burgers in this game. They give some nice stuff for your trade. And trade's pretty good. Well, it used to be good. It's been debuffed, man. So these are all balance changes. I have to see how that works out. Laws. It's a lot of balance changes. Lots. But nothing like too impactful. Yeah, some bug fixes as well. No longer apply 2 different debuffs to crown power. Sneak port. I still don't know what I do not know what this port does. I've seen it in the game. I've seen it in events referenced. I'm like, what does it do? Sneak port. Okay, so it gives you more levy size, but it makes the burgers more powerful. That's actually not too bad. I should build some of those, eh? Because look at that, it gives you supposedly more levy size and more some sailors, but it makes the burgers more powerful. But I like having the burgers more powerful, so because apparently they trade for you as well, so that's really good. And increases the local levy size. I think that's a buff. That's a great buff. Crulute. Kurute. I don't know what that is though. Must be a unit. A symbol of the local council's authority. Okay. Hello. Ah. So this is a unique building for the steppe. Oh, so this is their version of a barracks, basically. Yeah. Wow, there's so much, as I said, there's so many buildings in this game, dude. It's nuts. Like, there's no way everyone's like gone through the content in this game yet. So that's cheaper to maintain. That's kind of nice. Pops will now only demand certain goods if their estate is rich, and some are limited by development thresholds. Ooh, that's a bit of a change, isn't it? If their estate is rich, so technically, yeah, so if they're making money, then they're gonna demand more, which is kind of cool. So if you make your estates richer, like, oh, that's so good. Because I feel like, yeah, I think they should demand more. I feel like, the pop demands is a bit weird right now. The Kremlin now employs 2,000 soldiers instead of 5,000. Oh, Russians got nerfed. Russians got nerfed. 2,000 soldiers now instead of 5,000. What's the Kremlin actually do though? I assume it's like your barracks. Like maybe it's a hyper good barracks. I don't know. Like sergeantry. Doesn't come up. Rip. I don't know. Here we go. Building. It must be here. Kremlin. I'm sure I can click on it in the game, but yeah. Here we go. It's here. The Kremlin Fortress. Open up, please. Huh. So you get more soldier pops, which is kind of nice. The Kremlin. Plus 10 attrition, 0.10, 0 point plus garrison size, 0.1, 10% fort defense. Bro, I'm not a fort maxer. I'm not a fort maxer. You know what I do in my games, man? I just like delete my forts and save money. Because the AI is not that smart. Like, you can get away with losing forts, and this sort of buffs your forts, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why my screen's like this, eh? Yeah, so it gives you 0.10 hostile attrition. I don't know why my screen's bugging out. I just want to see why would I invest in this? Because it gives me some pops. Huh. What an interesting building. So every country like literally has unique buildings. Like a lot of countries. With content really. That's kind of neat. And we have Tenochtitlan, the Great Temple, will no longer be removed soon after its construction. Huh, that must have been a bug then. Why would it be removed? I gotta play as the Aztecs, dude. Oh, I want to play as everything, man. But I just don't have enough time. I got time now, but I already have like, let's have a look. I already have 71 hours in this game. I'm still like, I've only played like a couple of countries. Ooh, I'm no lifing this game, man, like crazy. Sneak port building increases local neighbor size. Oh, I've already read this. I think I missed my place again. Norn culture is now also part of the Scottish culture group. Okay. Does that make sense though? Because they're not Scandinavians. What? Scottish origins. Yeah, Celtic peoples from the Picts and the Gauls. They didn't come from Scandinavia, bro. I don't know why they're accepted. Norn culture. What a weird change. North Germanic language. I guess because they were. Oh, okay. So these people on these islands, if they were there for a long time, I guess that's all right. I guess that makes sense. If they were there for how long were they there for? Early 9th century. Okay. So well before the time frame. Actually, now that I think about it, that does make sense. If they've been there for hundreds of years, yeah, they should be part of it, I guess. Lollardly can spread to pops who use the English language instead of just the English culture. Huh. I did not know different cultures can have differing languages. That's like a CK3 thing, hey? So cultures who speak English can get the heresy. That's kind of funny. So it's like, say if you form like, I guess, an American culture, you could get that. But I don't even know if that can spawn by the time that happens. I don't even know if Americans can come into existence, man. I wonder if there's an event for that. I wonder if there's an event for my Australian culture coming to existence, man. There better be. You know how Australian languages, like how the Australian language got formed? Like some kid, right? He just started speaking weirdly, like the kids that came over, they're speaking weird, like because they were mixed with all the other Celtic people, like all the Irish and all that, and they just got mixed together and they just started speaking like retards, and that's how the Australian accent came to be. I'm not joking. Like, the Catholic Action Request A now offers modifiers that are better suited to military orders. I remember someone in my multiplayer game playing a military order, and he's like no one will give him money. Like, if he requests aid from a player, like no one's going to give them money because, you know, it's a multiplayer game. They're not going to help them out. Like, so this is only good for the AI, man. Because think about it, if you're a player and a Prussian knight asks you for gold, like, you're not going to give it. You're going to put that money into RGOs. But this is good that it's helping out, you know, the military orders. The bribe voter country interaction now allows you to throw all your gold at a target to convince them to vote for what you want. What, really? Is bribing the game? Heck yeah. I did not know that. Bribe voter. That must be the HRE. And we also have the Hansa as well. Add acceptance reasons for accepting being a Hanseatic League member. Again, when I was playing the multiplayer game, someone actually played as the Hansa, and you could do some shenanigans as the Hansa, man. You can just like build buildings in your opponents, and you can just leech off their economy. It's just so funny. And like you can basically form the Hansa, dude. But like you could, I don't know if you can like form a country because you just get stomped if you do. But it's such a funny country. I recommend people play it. I got to play it myself soon, but it's like fully trade play style. But you basically don't technically own land. Like you have subjects that you can build buildings in. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. And you just basically do market shenanigans. It's funny in multiplayer, man. Just play as the leech. Quest kingdom title actually will now make you a kingdom to first. Make you into a kingdom first. Before you form the target formable. Okay, so bug fix. Lots of bug fixes, guys. I don't see anything crazy over here. I swear I looked at this military. I swear I've seen this 2 times. Unless I'm reading something wrong, eh? Maybe I already looked at that. There's 2 sections for military. What? Yeah, I'm not hallucinating. There's 2 sections for military. That is confusing. Oh, this is for the AI. This is the juicy bit. This is the juicy bit, guys. We don't care about 2D art. Like, let's have a look. Nothing that's important. Yeah, look at the AI. So this is like the huge part, right? AI would no longer send marriage offers repeatedly if they were rejected before. Yeah. Like, I hate when the AI keeps sending you offers and you keep rejecting them. If you look at one of my shorts, I'm getting like spammed by Irish laws who just keep demanding money. At Plato, sorry, I didn't see this comment. I've been interested in the hands up, but it seems like a eccentric playstyle is required. You need a good grasp of the mechanics. Yeah, you definitely do, man. And the way that trade works is so micro-intensive. I don't know if it's fun. Because think about it, like the trade is so dynamic that your trades seem to cancel out a lot and you can't keep on top of it. That's why everyone sort of recommends you automate a bit. Like you automate like 80% and you manually trade like the important bits. So unless they make trade like more manual, like Victoria 3 was, I think, and launched, like I just don't see how hands is going to be, you know, interesting long term. But it's cool that they experimented with like a business country, you know, because the hands is like a collection of city states that were trading with each other, right? And it's kind of cool. But then again, it's a bit semi-baked. So yeah. Yeah, definitely Plato with the manual trade with colonies, yeah. Yeah. Because they need their RGOs for their buildings, right? You need to like shuffle stuff in between, that's definitely needed. But for like other stuff, like say if I really need cannons or I really need guns or I need a specific need, that's when I'm going to like manually trade it for it. But then everything else is I just leave to the AI for the trade. Unless I'm playing a really trade focused playthrough, I don't think that would be. I just want them to make it more easy to play with trade. Fix additional cases of Ottomans obtaining CBs against their own subjects or countries. Yeah, that's annoying, man, because it actually happens with me, like generally, because I get CBs on my own vassals. Like I can claim their throne, but that doesn't help me. Like I just randomly get claim throne CB against my subjects, and I don't see any reason why I would do that. So it's a bit like it just spams your inbox. Ottomans will no longer release areas of subjects under conditions while trying to reach a location count during the rise of the Ottomans. So yeah, they're just fixing things with Ottomans. Hopefully this makes them more powerful, the Ottomans. Like I'm seeing a lot of changes for the Ottomans, and that should make them form their country better. Fix an issue where AI would not improve opinion with subjects' ongoing annexation. Would not improve if they were still loyal but lacking opinion for annexation to progress. Okay, cool. Fix an issue there. Fix an issue where AI would release ongoing colonial charters of subjects, resulting in fractured subject border gore. But man, okay, cool. It's cool you're fixing border gore, but right now, the meta is to make vassal border gore, and that's not kind of fun to me. I'll show you later on my playthrough, right? And I'm just forming all these tiny vassals because it's the most efficient in terms of diplomatic capacity. I'm making so much money from these vassals, but it's just kind of weird that I have so many tiny vassals because the game sort of encourages you to do it. Because if you make your vassals bigger, like it takes longer to annex them. Like sure, it makes them more prosperous, I would say, but I don't know, like, I just feel like they have to have more incentives to make bigger vassals, or they have to do some changes there, I think. Like, I'm happy that they made blobbing harder. By making all this border gore with vassals, this is boring. And also the building I was hoping to see some changes to the capital meta, because the right now building a lot of your stuff in the capital is the meta right now. Just constantly building your capital, and I just don't like that. That's not how economies worked in real life. That's not how, because you know they didn't just develop the capital in real life, right? So, like, sure, it's like the center of commerce, right? It's, you know, it is a powerful industry. That's where the capital is usually, but it's a bit too much for me. Like just building your capital and that's it. I feel like I saw a poster, like in 4chan saying like, oh, they should build. If you build a city, right, and that should create control. Like if you build a city, like you urbanize, that should increase your control. And I think it does, like reduce proximity. I'm not sure, but I haven't played around urbanization because it's very expensive to get started with. It costs like 2,000 gold to start, you know. And I sort of invest in RGOs first instead of the cities at the start. But yeah, I want to see some changes with the economic meta. Because yeah, there's always going to be a meta or strong strategy, but I want the strong strategy to be historically accurate. I don't think investing only in your capital is historically accurate. Further increase the AI's desire to unlock the dock building. Okay, so fixing the naval problems. Yeah, good idea. AI will now increase diplomatic spending if it wants to annex a subject and is lacking diplomats. Cool, because, you know, diplomatic spending, vassals is the meta right now, so that's great. Fix an issue where AI would correctly close down buildings to avoid stagnating or doom spiraling economies. Ooh. That's the thing, man. I've never doom spiraled in this game yet. I'm probably too good, eh? Like I haven't been fully destroyed. I was playing Bulgaria in a multiplayer game. The plague hit me hard. I lost like half my pops, and that's when I was losing a bit of money. But then I slowly got better. Like you can recover from the Black Death pretty fast. It's not too much of an issue. And I also had a player who was playing Ottomans. So I was like, wait, do I invest in my economy or do I invest in the military? Because he's coming after me soon. And I'm kind of scared. I'll show you that game if I have that save file. But I'm playing as Bulgaria in a multiplayer game. And like, I have all my vassals, right? I've taken over land nearby. I've taken over Wallachia, taken over Serbia, taken over a bit of Greece. Like we've just fully partitioned Byzantium, but I just don't have enough troops to deal with this Ottomans, man. Like, because Anatolia is just more populous, you know. And I gave him Constantinople just to f off, you know. Like, you look, Ottomans. You can have Constantinople, but I'll have everything on the Greece side, and that's the deal we sort of made. It was kind of cool, but then I realized, wait, Constantinople is a pretty good deal for him. It's always a good deal, but then again, like I could just block him off with the navy if I'm lucky, because he had no navy. So when I go to my next session, I'm going to start building navy. I'm going to block him off from getting to his capital, Constantinople. Sorry, I went off a bit of a tangent there, but multiplayer is such a cool thing in this game because the AI is kind of weird right now. AI is much more faster at raising levies when a war breaks out. Yeah, it's great. I don't know why. Yeah, because they're very slow. That's good. AI is now a bit less scared of declaring war when they have a lot of antagonism. This is a huge change. Huge change. Like, I can tank coalitions super hard right now. Like, the coalitions are not that scary. In EU4, they're really scary. If you don't measure your expansion, right? And yeah, antagonism is just a number right now, or before this update. And I hope this makes the AI more aggressive. So if you compare the EU4 AI to EU5, I think EU4 is way better than AI because it's just more cutthroat. Like when I'm expanding, I always get decked on if I'm, fighting in a really bloody war and I'm losing manpower and like they just declare war on me. like when I'm down, but they never declare war on me in EU5 when I'm fighting in a protracted war. So I'm hoping we can get to EU4 levels eventually. Reduced AI willingness to attack countries very far away. Cool. Because yeah, that's a... But yeah, then again, like they don't use their boats a lot. Like I've had problems with AI does not use their transports to get to places, so this might be a bit of a weird change, I don't know. AI will now prioritize sieging areas more of their border. Yes, that's great. Please. Fix an issue, because they don't siege enough, to be honest. Oh, no, they do. The one problem with it is that they just keep walking into my stacks. Like they just don't care if I'm going to chase them down. Like they're just going to stand there. I just walk into them and I just kill them. Like they're that dumb. Fix an issue where AI could not correctly use mixed fleets of levy and regular transports due to miscalculating needs for repairs. Ooh. So they might have been hampering their transport of their troops. Fix an issue where player automated transport orders would not progress because the transports wanted repair. That must be why I couldn't put my troops on the transports. Maybe they have to be fully repaired. I can't remember to move. Because if you look at my streams, right, I'm trying to transport my troops and they just don't go on it. Hopefully that's what fixes it. So I tried to use the automate feature, but it didn't work. Fix an issue where the AI would not spend their levies after war finished in the first few years of the games. Ooh, that's a huge fix right there. Because I love EU5 because your levies are actually farmers. They're actually pops. And if they die, they die. And that affects your food production. I've actually had it affect my food production. And I had to like let it fix itself over time. Like just to fill the spots again. It's kind of cool. Like I had negative food in my market food stockpile. Fix an issue where the AI would sometimes sink their fleets by repeatedly going back and forth across the Atlantic when their colonial markets did not have supplies to repair fleets. Wow, so the AI would destroy their own ships. That's a huge hit, eh? Like, glad they fixed that, eh? Because ships take a long time to build, especially for the colonial markets, eh? Yeah, it's a huge fix. AI will no longer assign entire escort fleets to protect their transport during peacetime. That would be expensive, eh? The maintenance. There's no point in doing that if it's peacetime, eh? It's, you know, it's standard EU4 gameplay where you just like turn down all your sliders when you're at peacetime to save money, which is historical. You know, like if the army's not being actively used, they do defund it. The AI will no longer proactively move armies to suppress rebellions, rebels, and colonial charters. I haven't, to be honest, guys, I haven't got to the colonial gameplay because I always choose like Central European countries where like colonialism isn't like a huge thing. I haven't done a lot of colonialism yet. The start date doesn't help either. Colonial mechanic. I'm pretty sure it's just like colony. It's a colonial subject. Created via colonial charters, yeah. A colony is when a country has a colonial charter and province that slowly sends their own population there. So a bit like Victoria 3. I think that's like Victoria 3. Become the new majority and take over the location. Each country has a limited colonial range, which it can create colonies. Yeah, so it's basically a feature for creating colonies. Oh no, I've lost myself again. There we go. AI will now add a small ratio of heavy warships to their transport fleets, such as they're not completely undefended when they are not escorted by a larger attack fleet. Transport fleet, so yeah, that's pretty good. I haven't seen like for myself, I haven't seen a lot of naval gameplay. The only naval gameplay I've seen is me playing England and just like completely destroying the French Navy in the 100 Years' War. Like I just destroy them, eh? And that's the end of that, you know? So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the late game with these heavy warships. So it must have been a problem if it was a fix like that, eh? So you could snipe their transport fleets probably. Fix an issue where AI would not properly reassign fleets assigned to increase maritime presence when a region had a maximum naval presence. Huh. Oh, so if they had maximum naval presence, they wouldn't move their ships. Again, a nice fix. Those are some good fixes there. Those are some great fixes. Like for the first, like how long has it been since release? Like this is a good patch notes for the AI. I want to see more. I think they should focus on this a bit more. Because it's just... Can't wait to get into a new... Hopefully my save still works. Again, a lot of people complain that the trade's really bad. And I'm like, bro, the trade's too strong. Like, the trade was always too strong. And you guys are complaining about, you know, losing a couple of dollars. Like, come on. Like, I get it. It's the era of trade. It's the era of the global empires with trade networks. But come on. Like, you should be making all your money off trade. Like, come on. Sounds like a trade chat problem. Interface, map modes, recalculate man names when changing a map mode in the lobby. Man names. Huh. What a weird like point of recalculate man names when changing a map mode in the lobby. Man names. What? Do you mean like the names of the characters? What? I don't know. The Livonian order now correctly appears grey like the Overlord Teutonic Order instead of pink when the blend setting is on. What? I always liked them being pink though. Pink's not that bad. Dynamic map labels in the control map mode now probably update when changing the selected country in the lobby. Yeah, I noticed that your control map mode, it doesn't like update. This is like a different matter, but it doesn't update till the next month ticks over, which is kind of funny. So you can be sort of tricked if you don't wait for that monthly tick. Enable switching map mode hotkeys in lobby view. That's pretty cool. So I was sitting in a multiplayer. That'd be nice to have. Like sitting in a multiplayer match, waiting for it to start. I was actually playing multiplayer, and the amount of desyncs we had was very low. We had like 1 or 2 desyncs, and it was pretty smooth. I was actually really surprised with how much Paradox has optimized the multiplayer. So I definitely recommend playing multiplayer if you can. It's actually alright. The tactical map mode now also shows location rank icons for country and province capitals, making it easier to discern what the most important forts are. This is really good because I believe the different location rank icons, they have differing war score amounts that they give you. And I want to see like a dedicated map mode for like a war score gain thing. So if I click on a button, it should show me like which province gives me the most war score I can take over. I think that'd be so handy. So handy. And I think this is what this is trying to do, but it's a bit subpar. Added a lack of commander green alert. I've already said this, I think, at the start of the stream. Added a lack of commander green alert for peacetime, showing a yellow alert only during war. Yeah. Like, it's not that huge. I always have it set on auto because I can't be asked. Because I just sometimes get cucked by the lack of commander thing, because that's why I don't do it manually anymore. The reason because I don't do it manually is because when I raise an army, like I raise a bunch of levies, and sometimes like some of them don't have generals, and then I have to wait like a month for the general to get to the battlefield, and that costs me precious time. And I sometimes forget about it because, you know, I don't pick the general for the right, because when you merge like differing stacks, it just messes it up and then you don't have a general anymore. So it's like weird. So that's why I have it on auto, and I just change it when I have spare time in the game. Because yeah, that when it takes time for your general to get there, that costs you like precious time. Like it takes like a full month, and I got destroyed without a general. So that's why I have it on auto, because it can F you over if you're not watching. Add devastated locations alert. Devastated locations. Is that a thing? I know that's an EU5, but isn't EU5? Isn't it EU? I know it's an EU4. Sorry, but isn't it EU5 now? Yeah, I knew this was an EU4, but it's not very good. Basically, just less production modifiers. Oh, this is old. So there's devastation in the game, but how do you even get that? Is it in devastation? Development. Yeah, I always like building roads. Very cool. Increases your control, but really expensive at the start, eh? I actually don't know where it is, but it does say there's devastation, which in EU4 did decrease. It just gave you a debuff, essentially. So that's cool. They added an alert for that. I don't know why that wasn't in the vanilla game, but if you add an alert, I think you should be able to fix that if it shows up in your alert. Like if you have an alert and like you can do nothing about it, it's kind of useless. Maybe, you know, maybe it's good enough to just shows you there's problems in your country, but some things you just can't fix. Add a pop-up when saving failed. That's good. Fix the unraised levies alert for building-based countries. Wait, what? Was it broken before? Yeah, wow. Didn't seem broken for me. Add an alert when new policies available. Change laws. That's already in the game, wasn't it? Like codified laws. Oh, that alert was only in when you didn't have a law. So I assume this is when you could change it. Change laws, not codified. There's not codified alert to yellow. What? Change laws, not codified alert to yellow. Was it green before? Yeah, I think that should be yellow, because that's a huge thing. Make icons for these two alerts consistent with the game concepts ones. Cool. I wonder if my mods are broken now because I have a lot of UI mods. Hopefully it's fixed by now. Hopefully the mod developers have updated it by now. Declare, these are all UI changes. I'm only halfway through, eh? I'm just going to scroll through because I'm probably... how long have I been streaming for? 2 hours. Wow. I'm probably too slow. This is all translation. Multiplayer. Oh, not many changes in multiplayer. Actually, I've been having no problems in multiplayer. It's been fun. I'm going to scroll through these last ones, see if there's anything important before I move on to showing my gameplay. We got some new models. Crusader Knight models upgrade from medium to heavy. Give the sword to look more knightly. Yeah. They should totally have the heavy knight model. Absolutely. Just trying to see if there's anything. These are all minor changes. So there's a lot of UI changes, guys. I think it's going to be good, eh? Because I said the UI was a big problem. And it looks like they're adding a lot here. A lot of tweaks. Lots of tweaks. But are those tweaks good? Because, yeah, it can be subjective on those tweaks. But that's why we have mods. But yeah, lots of UI changes. I have to look. Let's see if I can find some new changes in the patch. So let's actually get into the game right now and just have a look. Now, I probably have to change my stream here a little bit when I go in. Ugh, I've got too many games, man. Too many. Ugh, I've got to stop buying games. This was the last one I bought for the year, I think. I'll change it to game capture. Whoa, it's loud. Whoa. I'll turn that down. It always ear rapes me, this game. With the sound. Oh, hold on. My saves didn't load. I thought I lost all my saves there for a second. Because it was grayed out. But no, it was just loading. Again, if you guys don't have a good PC for this game, you're fucked. Like, I'm even struggling. I'm the struggle streets. I'm gonna get a bit of SSD, man. But yeah, guys, I'm happy with the patch. Like conceptually, haven't loaded in yet to check out the changes, but from what I've seen so far with the changes, it's looking pretty good. I wonder if there's going to be more updates for the patches but we're nearing Christmas time, so maybe not. And I wonder what the DLC is going to be. We all know that Paradox is going to spam this game with DLC. Bro, second in a million years. What about I just cancel it out? Because I actually accidentally clicked new game. Yeah, I also got this game as well, Making History the First World War. Played it for like 60 minutes, but I didn't like it, unfortunately. Come on, load. All my friends, they got like so many hours in the game already. They're all hooked and addicted. They just no lifing like I am. Yeah, I gotta wait. See, I gotta wait for it to load. And I should be in game capture. There we go. And we'll look at my first game, Milan. Hopefully it won't crash. Please don't crash. God, that's loud. Turn it down. I love the artwork of EU5. It's beautiful. Something very morbid about loving warfare artwork, but I don't care. But that's the pike and shot formation there. The idea is the pike. I don't know why they're on the side though, like that. Bit weird how the musketeers are on the side there. Usually they'll be behind the pikes. So this is my Milan game. I'm progressing super well in this campaign. Let's have a look at my trade income. Let's see if that's like been affected. I don't know what people are whining about. Like, they said their trade income's kind of fucked, but my one's like, okay. Then again, I don't really go the trade play style too much. Again, I'm not going to play this game out. I'm just going to check out certain things and show you things that I do like and I like. Who's this? Let's see if the month ticks over. Look at my trade income. So 10.83. I'm making my money off guns, gold, and marble. So I'm actually doing all right. Not too bad. Making 10 gold, that's all right for the early game. Oh, it's not really early game, but 1400. I should probably be making more, but I haven't really been focusing on trade. I've been conquering Italy. And I basically have Italy all under my control. As you can see here, I've built up all my little vassals. And I've just spanned them across my empire. And as you can see here, if I go into control, they all have control over their country, right? And this one doesn't though. Oh, that's a different country. Never mind. We also have these ones. This one's still gaining control. But as you can see, they can cultivate the land way more than you ever could. I've got like good control right now though. Like it's spreading. I think that's because I built a ton of roads. And I got almost 2 million pops in this game. And as you can see, this French blob, man, it's nuts. 41k soldiers, 100k. So that's probably 141k right now. Combined with their vassals. And I only have like... Oh no, the game says I have 30,000. What? That can't be right. Do I really have 30,000 levies? Oh, I know why. Because I recently annexed these vassals into my domain. I recently annexed this, which is a huge boon for me because this is a good coastline. Genova is like a 100k city. Again, Italy is such a great nation to play. But I've not been affected by the changes too much. Oh, hold on. I'm making negative 11 money, actually. Wow. But I am spending like 54 in diplomatic spending. But the reason is I'm doing that is because I want to get this diplomatic capacity up. And I could probably adjust that, eh? If I did that, I'd just fix it immediately. But people say this is a trap, spending diplomatic spending, but I don't think it is. Because look at this bonus, like 50% to your diplomatic capacity. And you think about that, that's like free land for you. Because you need that diplomatic capacity to turn people into your cucks. So say if I declare war on Naples and I just take them out and I want to just take all their land, I just have to vassalize it all. And that's going to cost me a lot of diplomatic capacity. So diplomatic capacity really is your expansion tool. Because you really can't control the land early game. Like even this, like I don't even have control over here. I can only get 0.97. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that they don't like me, that's why. Average satisfaction, I've integrated it. So maybe it's a good idea to turn this into vassal as well. And again, I just don't like this metagame. I really don't. Like, it's cool that we don't exert a lot of control over it, but it gets too much. Too much that I have to create lots of vassals, and they don't really interact with you a lot. They actually don't really rebel. They never rebel against you. Like, they all love me. Even though I just took over all of Italy by almost 1400. And soon I'll get rid of this lady and I'll have 2 million pops. Of course, I could have done it sooner, but I was building up my country a lot. As you can see, I'm slowly annexing all my vassals because I'm going to integrate them, and it's going to give me, like, I'm getting a lot of good control over here, so I'm going to be able to move in soon. And as you can see, my road there's giving me a lot of control. Hey, look, I think that's a road. So that's pretty nice. Now I want to see what is causing that. So the cities, they actually give you control. So they actually do give you maximum control. So that's kind of neat. And the core does. and the proximity to capital. That's a huge thing, the proximity to the capital. So again, this is the whole thing. The meta is basically building close to your capital because of this modifier here. 54%. So the more further away, you're less incentivized to build in your far-flung empire. That's kind of boring. But then again, that it probably picks up later on. Wow, look at this. I love this model, man. Look at this bassinet. He's drilling right now. And this is my knight army. So heavy cavalrymen. I think this is a really good comp. Like I just spammed heavy cavalrymen because they have four combat power, great flanking ability. So once you get into the battle and you're on the flanks, you put them on the flanks and you break through, you just like kill so many of them because they're so good. There's no other unit in the beginning that can do that much amount of damage. But the French knights, they're way more powerful. I think they have a unique unit. If you look at their stuff. Cavalry, heavy cavalrymen. No, it's kind of the same. But I swear like their noble cavalry is better. They just have way more access to cavalry. Yeah, they have 5,000. 6,000 cavalry, so they have way more cavalry available to them. And there's any other problems? This trade, man. As you can see, I automate all my trade because I just can't be asked. I do have these manual trades just for my needs, but that's it. And the game's not even suggesting any trades. Like, look at this. It's bugged out. The game's like, nah, you've done everything you can. And I'm like, okay. This is weird too. Like my market is expanding into Venice. I'm slowly taking over their market. And I might actually take over Venice soon because I'll just get basically more control over the markets and all that. If I take over Venice, which can be easily done. But I think my only like rivals, I'll tell you, like this is why another thing about EU5 is that no one's really that powerful. Like I could kill Hungary, I could kill Naples, I could kill Serbia, I could kill Ottomans if I wanted to. The only nation I probably couldn't kill is France or Spain, that's it. And what about Bohemia? Bohemia's pretty strong as well, but they're pretty far away. So I think the game's sometimes a bit too easy. Like forming Italy in 1400 is a bit much, I think. Especially these highly urban zones, which just give me lots of pops. Look at these pops, man. 60,000, 100k. That's why I like beelining for Genoa, because you get that huge city, right? I actually might make Genoa my capital because it's 100k. And I can exert more control across the sea. And yeah, let's have a look at our multiplayer game, which I think I can look at it. Oh, I didn't save. Far, man. I'll probably stream the multiplayer game when I get my next session. Now let's have a look at England going. So really, I haven't been hit hard with the trade. Like, then again, I'm not focusing on trade too much. But people are saying they're like losing money. I'm like, no, I haven't been hit that hard. So I don't know what these trading people are whining about. Like I'm not making a huge amount of money, but it is what it is. Now let's see what happens if I go to the next month with England. As you can see, I've almost made England together. I've spanned vassals in Ireland. Spanned vassals. This is like an early noob game because I made this a huge vassal. Perthshire. I shouldn't have done that. It takes me like so long to integrate them. I click on Perthshire. Yeah. They won't like it. Doesn't tell me how long it will take, but it'll take way longer. And what about my control here? It's doing all right, but as you can see here, not much control over here. People say you should build bailiffs for these far-flung territories, but I don't think it's worth. I don't think it's worth to build bailiffs. It also makes the nobles more happy. But it makes the nobles more powerful. Sorry, but when we look at my estates, like I have good crown power on this one, 31%. But I got to get rid of the nobles. As you can see, all of these privileges are just bad. This one's okay, like 5% efficiency. But decentralization, ugh. Decentralization, ugh. Aristocracy, okay. You get this levy combat efficiency. This might be worth. Makes your levies and levy size way more better. So this might be a good trade-off. And then you get better, yeah, more aristocracy. I just don't think aristocracy is worth it, eh? Well, it might be. I'm already in a dough. It just makes the nobles more powerful, which I don't like. Because then I can't tax them more. And if I can't tax them, it's just garbage. Because if they're more powerful, so technically if they're more powerful, they get less taxes. I think that's how it works. And then I'm decentralized. And if you have centralization, like look at this crown power. That's a huge amount of crown power. And I'm trying to get out of this. But you can't fix this like really fast. So yeah, there are some sort of meta values here. Like you would never go for this. You would never go for decentralization. Like there's no reason why you would go here. Just for roleplay, I suppose. As you can see, I'm changing the values. I'm going to appoint somebody. And if I appoint, people don't know this, but if you appoint a nobleman, it actually increases the estate's power. So you want to try and appoint someone of your dynasty. But I actually don't have anybody here that's of my dynasty, unfortunately, because they're all bloody kids, man. All bloody kids. They're all children. Look at this. All children. And they're Spanish. They're Spanish kids, man. And I only have daughters. Like, look at King Edward III. He just popped out a ton of daughters. And that sort of hampered my family a bit because I don't actually have control of them. Because they can't produce males or whatever. I can't make them. Oh, maybe if I do this, grant cabinet right. Huh. Yeah, but I'm just getting all daughters, man. I can't do anything with daughters. All I can do is marry them off. But yeah, if you get lucky, unlike me, you can just put all your family in the cabinet. And that sort of just makes your crown power go up, and, you know, you can breed good people to take command. Like this character right here, he's not too bad. 76, 58. I think admin's better because you get more crown power. Because crown power is so good. It just affects a lot of things. Affects control, affects so many things. Like, this is okay. This is okay, but I think admin's the best for your character there. But yeah, my dynasty could be better. And yeah, this is the guy that spawned. He just spawned out of nowhere. Apparently I had a long-lost bastard. And John York is the son of King Edward III. And he's going to just rebel soon, I think. But yeah, I think that's going to conclude my look at the patches, really. I don't have much to comment on so far. There doesn't seem to be a lot of changes that I see that are different. In terms of the UI, I'm just looking. I'm trying to find any UI changes. It kind of looks the same, unless I'm on a different version, but yeah, wow. Because I am running a mod. But this should be the new update. But yeah, basically, people who are saying that trade's fucked, well, it's not really fucked if that's the only thing you were focusing on. Because yeah, if you focus on trade too much, then yeah, you're gonna lose out. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you listening to my discussions here. I'm happy about the patch. I'm happy about EU5. It's been a good game. I've just been playing this all the time. Definitely more content to come. Please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy these breakdowns. I don't know why my camera's not working. I have to fix that later on. I'll put my camera on next stream. But yeah, I'll see you in the next stream. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.